Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. I hope you are having a truly fantastic day so far. I hope the day is treating you well. In today's video I am going to be giving some new makeup a second chance. Now I don't necessarily mean that the first time I tested these products I didn't like them. That's not the case at all for most of them. I'm just maybe trying them out in a different way, applying them slightly differently, or like in the case of the eyeshadow palette, I'm just trying a few different shades that I didn't manage to try out the first time. So I'm just dabbling in some new makeup, but this isn't necessarily a first impression. Starting with a base combination that I think is going to be perfect, basically. So the new Beauty Crop Glow Milk Primer. This mixed into foundation is by far my favourite way to wear it. I've been trying this out a few different ways. I've tried it on top of my foundation as like a highlight, and I do like it that way. It's just quite subtle and quite sort of yellowy. I do really enjoy it mixed into foundation. When I first tested this, I did it just as a primer all over the face, but I think, you know, I like using products like this mixed into foundations, such as the e.l.f. Halo Glow, the Collection Filter, whatever, but this one has got a pump, so it's easier to mix it together on the back of your hand, and ultimately it doesn't make that awful farting noise that we all hate. So I've got 2 pumps of each product on the back of my hand there. Did I even say what foundation I'm using? The Sleek In Your Tone foundation, which is my all-time favourite, so I know I already love that foundation. So I'm excited to see how it's going to mix in with this one, because I really enjoy wearing that foundation mixed in with those other glowy primers that I mentioned. I haven't necessarily, I can't remember honestly if I've tried this primer mixed in with this foundation. Honestly, I probably have. I've been trying it with loads of different foundations, but let me see how this looks. Also, don't mind all of the redness on my skin. I literally just finished my skincare routine. Does anybody else get really red across their face when they touch it? 'Cause same. Okay, so the redness is still very much showing through. I do feel like when I have used glowy primers mixed in with this foundation before, I have often had to go in with a second layer, so I am going to add just a tiny little bit more. I will go in with just 1 pump of the glowy primer and another pump and a bit of the foundation. And again, I'll just mix those together and just apply it more so over the areas where I feel like I need it, just sort of across the redness in the middle of my cheeks. I do really like the finish of it. It's definitely really nice and like naturally glowy. I don't feel like it looks too glowy. I don't feel like it's too much. I would be really happy with this amount of glow, just, you know, for an everyday sort of a basis. I think that it looks really nice, and the 2 products are mixing together really nicely as well. So I'm just going to apply a little bit more sort of down the centre of my face. I've also got a really nice spot growing on my chin, so I'll put a bit over there to try and cover that up as well. Okay, so I feel like that's built up really nicely. Like, I hope that you can see how nice that glow is. Like, it just looks so fresh and so natural. I really like those 2 mixed together, and obviously under normal circumstances I would have waited a little while in between like doing my skincare and applying my foundation. So honestly, I probably would like this more on a day when I'm not like sitting down to film and rushing, basically. So I don't have a new concealer, so I'm just going to try this one out again. Honestly, I can't remember what I think of it. It's the Studio London Flaunt Flawless Cream Concealer, and this is in the shade 11. So I'm just going to put a little bit round my eyes, and I will use my sponge to blend this out as well. So I will just take it a little bit over these areas as well, just for a tiny little bit more coverage, and also just to like brighten down the centre of my face. And again, there's no new bronzer, so I'm just going in with the Essence Love That Glow Bronze Palette, and I'm just going in with the matte shade, this one here, and I'm just gonna bronze the face. So then for blush, I have this, like I say, I have used this before, but I've only ever used it on my eyes, and I do really like the colour of it, but I'm going to try it on the cheeks today. This is the Sleek Sugar and Spice Cream Blusher. Forgot the name of what a blush is then. Oh my goodness, it's been that sort of a weekday life, honestly. So I'm just going to use my Real Techniques Expert Face Brush, tap into there. If I remember rightly, this is quite pigmented. Yep. I may have got too much on my brush then, and let's just blush up the face. See how it goes over the top of that powder bronzer as well. Yeah, that looks really nice. Again, it's just adding to the glow, like because it's a cream, it's like adding to the look of hydration in my skin that after 4 days of having a cold, I am definitely struggling, but I feel like that's making it look like I am not rising from the dead. I really like that as a blush as well. I wanted to say bronzer yet again. I feel like that's a really nice, like, toasty, warm, autumnal shade, which is obviously what I am all about at the minute. Anyway, I really like that. I actually brought over a highlight, but I don't know if I need it. I feel like that looks really nice and glowy by itself. I don't know if I want the highlight. I do need to try it at some point though. I'm piling up all of these products and I'm just not getting around to actually trying them out. I am going to just go off and do my brows with the Beauty Bay products that I've been really enjoying. The eyebrow pencil in Bark and the brow fixer in Sable. So I will be right back when I've got some brows on my head. These brow products, specifically that brow gel, is fast becoming my favourite, like my go-to brow gel. Yeah, even over the e.l.f. one. I just feel like, I don't know, there's just something about the texture of it. It's a little bit thicker. It's definitely got some hold to it, but I really like that. I'm really enjoying using that brow gel. I have also just put over a little bit of my Beauty Bay eye base, and I'm going to go into the eyeshadow palette, and I'm going to be testing this one out again, the Catrice Metaface Eyeshadow palette. I honestly, at this point, I can't remember what colours I used last time, but I know that I want to use this one here today. I know I didn't use this one last time, so I'm going to be using that one. It was like a duochrome-y sort of a shifty colour. Now, the only thing is, in this palette, there isn't really a transition-y shade. I don't think I want purple. I think I just want something a little bit more brown. So I will just go in with a big fluffy brush into that powder bronzer, the Essence one. Just put a little bit of that through my crease first, and then I basically just want that one all over the lid. That's what we're going for today. Just think very easy, very wash of colour all over the lid, but I also think that this shade is going to be, you know, like a beautiful sort of shift, and I think it'll look really nice just with a little bit of bronzer through the crease. Like, I do like this eyeshadow palette, the Catrice one. I do really like it. The shades are beautiful. They blend really nicely, the ones that I tried last time. Not that I can remember which one I tried, but I remember it was very easy to use. I just feel like it's lacking some of the basic shades. Like, I couldn't just do a look with that eyeshadow palette alone unless I was going to do something like with the bright blue or the bright purple, because they're the only matte shades. But also saying that, we all have those basic shades in our collection, don't we? So I don't necessarily need them in every palette. I just feel like I could do with just one brown transition-y shade to blend out all of these beautiful like duochromes, because there's so many of them in this palette. I just feel like it's a little bit limited for me, but I do love it. Am I giving mixed signals here? Probably. I'm just going to go in with my finger into that one, the third one from the end. I'm just gonna apply it all over the lid because it is a beautiful shift. I do really like the look of it. So let's see how this works. Basically just completely black by itself. Yes, just as I suspected. It's absolutely beautiful. I will do both sides and then I'll zoom you in so that you can actually see what I'm talking about. So that is that one shade just all over the lid, and I really hope you can see that it's like catching the light and changing colours. It's absolutely beautiful, and I feel like this is absolutely the sort of level that I would go for just on an everyday basis. Like this level of reflection, this level of like colour. I really like it, and I do feel like the shade of it is like really nice and warm, so it's like bringing out, can I say like one more time, oh my goodness, it's bringing out the colour in my eyes with the warm undertone. I really like it. I'm allowed to say that, like. I'm going to just take a fluffy little brush and I'm going to dip into this last shade. I'm trying to do it without blinding you. Dipping into this last shade here, and I'm just going to add a little bit of depth onto the outer corner. This is a shimmer, so I don't know how this is going to go, and I don't know if I'm going to make a terrible mess of myself. I wouldn't normally use a shimmer on like the outer corner. I'm also running this under my eyes, but I wouldn't normally use a shimmer there. I would like to use a matte, but there aren't very many matte options in this palette. I do feel like that's working nicely though. I do need to blend it. Bear with me. So this is much more smoky and glam than what I was necessarily thinking I was going to be doing today, but I'm absolutely not mad at how these colours are performing. I really enjoy that first shade that I put on. The shift of that is absolutely beautiful. I am just going to take a dense brush like so, and I'm going to dip into the lightest shade, this one at this end, just for my little pop on the inner corner, and that is suitably blinding. Wowzers. I still don't know, and I haven't tried, so I don't know how I'm going to approach this going forwards, but this second shade in is like a cream. It's almost like Vaseline-y feeling, that sort of very slippy petroleum jelly sort of a feeling, but it also has like an iridescence to it, so I don't know. I want to figure out how to use that. I'm just not sure how to go about that at this stage. If you have any ideas, if you have this palette and you know how to use that second shade in, I would love to know. So now I need to decide, do I want a wing? I feel like I've done a wing every single day in October so far, but also I do feel like I want a wing. Like I need to not do exactly the same look in every single video, so I'm gonna not do a wing. I wanted to talk about this mascara though. I tested this out a couple of days ago and I wore it to work yesterday. It did not smudge. It did not move at all. It looks absolutely incredible on first application, and then it stays looking that way throughout the day. Like the level of volume, the level of length, I am so impressed, and especially considering that this mascara costs like £3.50 or something like that. Like you really do not need to be breaking the bank for mascaras. This one is probably one of the better ones that I've tried. I am so incredibly impressed with it. Did I even say what it was? It's the 17 Maximum Curl mascara. Yes, the packaging is very simple. The packaging is not going to win any sort of awards, but like one layer gives you the most incredible length and volume. thickness, it's so easy, and it gives you the most incredible looking lashes. I know not everybody likes this very sort of thick, dramatic lash. This is absolutely my vibe, and I am so impressed with this mascara. Like, just look at those lashes, and honestly, I am a person that likes sitting and spending quite a lot of time like building up a lot of mascara to get it to this level, like taking quite a bit of time, honestly, to just make my lashes look how I want them to. But with this one, I don't have to spend any time doing it because it's building up to this level straight away. I absolutely love it. Can you tell? Like, when I can't put my words into what my brain is thinking, that is when you know that I'm loving a product. So now to just finish off the face, I brought this lipstick over, but now I think that this is going to be too dark. I can try it. It's the W7 First Date lipstick. These are the ones that I tested out in the summer and honestly then just completely forgot that I had, but so creamy. I think I actually need a lip liner. Let me just get a lip liner first. I'll go in with the e.l.f. Love Triangle Lip Filler Liner in Soft Pink, and I'll just do a little bit of an overline. And then I'm just going to tap a really small amount of this lipstick over, because like I say, they are so incredibly pigmented that I really don't need much at all. And I actually don't feel like that is too dark. It's perhaps a little bit too pink, but not too deep. So now I feel like I just need a little bit more blush and I'll probably be happy. I am thrilled with how this makeup has turned out. So what are my standout products from today? The blush, I really like that. I think it came in a couple of shades as well, but you know how I like a deep sort of toasty blush, and I do feel like it's adding in a really nice level of glow to the skin. Obviously the skin was already glowy from the glowy primer, which is also a huge win. I love that mixed in with that foundation. I think that that looks so nice, and like from quite far away I feel like this looks quite glam, but close up I'm like, my skin looks so natural. Like I can see all of my freckles. I can still see this guy that's living on my chin. That is just my life at the minute. The eyeshadow palette, those shades performed amazingly, considering that they are like deeper shades, and obviously this is quite a smoky sort of a glam look for most people. This is absolutely just an everyday look for me. I feel like they have blended out so nicely. Like I barely had to blend them out at all, and I think that they look so nice. The mascara, please just try it. If you're unsure, please just try it. I think that that is an incredible mascara, and especially considering that it was like £3.50 or something like that. I'm absolutely thrilled. So if you like this video, again, I would love it if you give it a big thumbs up. That really does help me out ever so much. If you're new here and you want more cruelty-free, affordable makeup reviews, I would love it if you would subscribe. But until next time, until tomorrow, thank you ever so much for watching. Bye.